Hi, Zack Yusof here. You're watching 7 Days, bringing you some of the top stories from the last week. Up to 80 people were killed and about 100 more injured when an armed man drove a truck at full speed into a crowd who had gathered to watch the Bastille Day fireworks display over the seafront in the southern French city of Nice Thursday night. Counter-terrorist investigators were seeking to identify the driver, who a local government official said opened fire before police shot him dead. The official said weapons and grenades were found inside the 25-ton unmarked truck. The attack, which came 8 months and a day after Islamic State gunmen and suicide bombers killed 130 people in Paris, appeared so far to be the work of a lone assailant. Newspaper Nice Matin quoted unidentified sources as saying the driver was a 31-year-old local of Tunisian origin. French President François Hollande says the lethal attack was clearly a terrorist assault and that the state of emergency imposed since the Paris attacks last November would be extended for another 3 months. Terrible news indeed. Our hearts go out to the family of the victims. Over in the UK, there's plenty of exciting developments, with David Cameron stepping down and Theresa May replacing him as Prime Minister. May became British Prime Minister on Wednesday after being appointed by Queen Elizabeth shortly after the monarch accepted David Cameron's resignation. As a foreign minister, May has opted for the controversial former London Mayor Boris Johnson, who was officially appointed the job on Wednesday. Johnson was a leading figure in the victorious Brexit campaign in Britain's European Union membership referendum last month. However, his role in Britain's negotiations over its future relationship with the EU is likely to be limited because May has created a new ministerial role focused on Brexit, appointing David Davis to the role. Moving along, President Barack Obama has responded to critics who charged he has not done enough to show support for law enforcement officers after 2 years of protests against incidents of violence by police against the black community. Speaking on Thursday, Obama faced several pointed questions during a town hall broadcast on the ABC television network, exploring the emotionally charged issues surrounding policing and racial discrimination in the U.S. The divide between police and the black community was brought into stark focus last week when a man angry about killings by police of 2 black men in Louisiana and Minnesota shot and killed 5 police officers in Dallas at a demonstration. Obama, the nation's first black president, has repeatedly condemned violence against police officers. After the Dallas shootings, he urged the country to come together. Speaking at the town hall, Obama said that data shows disparities in how African Americans are treated by police.
Lieutenant Governor, what I have said is that the data, and this is not just stuff I make up, I'm aware that my words matter deeply here. The data shows that there are disparities in terms of how persons of color and whites are treated in the aggregate. That doesn't mean in any individual case there's discrimination. It just means that across a lot of different situations there are discrepancies.
And finally, David Bowie's private art collection, including works by Henry Moore and Damien Hirst, will go on display to the public for the very first time before heading for auction later this year, Sotheby's said on Thursday. The Bowie Collector 3-part sale in November will feature around 400 items from the pop icon's private collection and is seen fetching in excess of £10 million, a spokeswoman for the auction house said. Among works to be featured is late American artist Jean-Michel Basquiat's Air Power painting, estimated between £2.5 million and £3.5 million, and Hirst's kaleidoscopic, beautiful, shattering, slashing, violent, pinky, hacking sphincter painting, seen fetching between £250,000 and £350,000. There are also sculptures and design furniture, including a 1960s record player by Italian brothers Achille and Pier Giacomo Castiglione, and the collection will be exhibited at Sotheby's Galleries in London in early November. Truly lovely stuff, if only I had a few million quid to spare. Anyway, until next time, have a good week.